Okay, we're back. Is my camera gonna keep doing? No, I think we're good.
No, because I think it's because of the screen recording from Zoom last time.
Okay.
It was just too much for Zoom to
Yeah,
handle.
I think so. Okay, cool. Now I'm speaking into a microphone, so it's
Okay.
it's very official.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right. So
we got hold
we
on.
have Hold On pulled up. This is the first song we tracked together, right?
This is it. This was the song that I like. This was the song that I had the album. This gave me the vision for the album. Was this song? And
Was it after we worked on it or before?
this was the one I went into. I think this is why I picked to do this one first, was because it set the tone for exactly what I wanted to accomplish with this record, which
Mhm.
was that 70s dry, singer songwriter double track vocals with the chamber orchestra, kind of like a wind group.
Yeah.
Um, you know, electric piano with the acoustic guitar thing. For me, this like if you hear the Bell album, the Al Green record,
Mhm.
definitely hear that in this, and then also I really fell in love with the Cannibal Holocaust soundtrack. While
Oh, you did send me that, I think.
yeah, that is like just it's like it's a gold mine. Um,
Hmm.
so that was real. That was what I was going after. Obviously, the Beatles. Obviously, the
Yeah.
chamber kind of thing. Um, What should we listen to? Should we do the
Yeah, I don't
rhythm?
know.
Just let's try just the instrumental for a little bit.
Cool. Here we go.
This sound right here. This was it. This is exactly what I was like. This is what I wanted for the record. Acoustic guitar, electric piano. You're playing the acoustic, like the triplet thing. Oh, it's so nice.
No click.
No click. Just grooves so hard. Love that.
Oh man. I think I think I remember when we were struggling for a bit when we first tracked this. I remember it took us a second to get into to figure out what the best way to go about doing it was. And I think we had started off with maybe you on bass
Yes.
and
Yeah.
me on bass and or you on drums or something.
Yeah. Well, this was the first
This is our first
song,
try
so this was like how the what set the tone for the
for
there's
the process of recording
yeah, pretty
too.
much. And I think it was it probably. I have a feeling it was you on drums and me on bass because I had a very specific bass line for this
Yeah,
song, especially just the chorus,
the chorus.
because this is another song
Ba-da-bum-bum.
that was a provisional pop songs, like you know the chorus at least was something I came up with at least 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So I had a very specific bass line for it. So is that how it went? Was that it? Drums, you
So
on
we
drums?
started like that, but then I think I actually I kind of hate doing bass and drums together
Mm.
because I personally think it's a really uninspiring way to do because it just doesn't sound like a song.
I love that. So
And
say more about that.
I I for me to really get into like tracking to really capture a song, I think starting with bass and drums is like yeah, it's just really uninspiring for me because I don't really hear
Yeah,
I like hearing some more um harmony
yeah,
first.
yeah.
And even melody sometimes, but
Does that apply to like the feel of it? I have like kind of a working theory, which
mhm,
with like the home studio, and you play every instrument kind of thing. Like each
mhm,
instrument should be supplying the groove, and so if it starts out with drums, then for me, if I start with the drums and then every instrument comes after that,
mhm,
because I'm supplying the groove mostly with the drums and I'm going in with it. I
yeah,
I feel like the other instruments don't have to supply as much of a groove.
mhm,
Whereas if you add the drums last, which is something that Phil Spector would do, he would do the drums last. He would do the guitars first, and he would make sure that
huh,
had the best take. He would put like 5 guitar players, like the best jazz
yeah,
jazz musicians, jazz guitarists playing the exact same simple line, but that would establish the groove, and then he'd worry about the drums later. And by drums, like no cymbals at all, but
mhm,
like the acoustic guitars would act as the cymbals. But I think there's something to that, um, and I wonder if that's how. I'm curious what you think of that too, because you have like
yeah,
you're
that's
very feel oriented, and you're like, you know, you're. I know you as like a bass player, kind of
mhm.
first. That's how I first knew you, and I mean that there's just so much feel in your bass playing. So I'm curious, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I think that you're right that there sometimes can be like a lack of responsibility for in keeping the groove in other instruments that are not percussive.
Yeah,
And I think you're right. I think they're, you know, I think especially especially guitars have to groove. I think a really great rhythm guitar will it will really make or break the feel, especially in this kind of music.
I agree. I agree. That was
Um,
actually something we worked on with Finally Lonely too. Is we did the opposite of the Phil Spector thing, where we did the drums first, and they were like to a grid, and
yeah,
the original guitar playing, it didn't feel good, and then Seth was the one that like he had a very specific feel. Like, no, you have to strum it kind of like it has a different feel, and it changed the sound of the song completely. It was the acoustic guitars. It's a subdivision
And
that's
Finally
happening.
Lonely.
Yeah, they're
I,
kind of
I
like
would love to hear that broken down.
I I will figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
I have all the
I
stems and stuff, but
oh my God.
but the
To me
acoustic
that
guitars. What was that?
oh no, I said to me that song maybe it's that thing where like I know how these songs are made, but I don't know how that one was made, and it blows my mind because it's very different
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, and I don't like to me it has this mystery, like it has that wall of sound thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you got those sounds,
Just so
and
many
I
things.
just for myself, I'm very curious. So please do one of these
I'll
with
have to
that
do a
one.
breakdown. I have all the
Yeah,
stems, so I'll do that too. That was
yeah.
fun. I mean, the but going back to like the acoustic guitar supplied, I think it's some subdivision that's happening. Because like the bass
Hmm.
is mainly taking care of the big beats, so are the
Yeah.
drums, but the rhythm guitar and the acoustic guitar like has that. I mean, especially the acoustic guitar has that human quality to it that
Hmm.
um it just needs. I'm also like I'm curious too. Do you have a theory about playing to a click versus not playing to a click? Like, what do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think I mean it really depends on the song. I'm really glad we didn't do this one to a click.
This is the
It
only
would have,
one, right?
you know, yeah, that's funny. I guess it is the only one.
Or this love, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, that one's to a click
That one.
too.
Then that's the only one I think.
That's funny. I would have thought there were more, but you're right. It is just this one.
I think it is. Yeah.
That was brave to start that way.
Honestly, yeah.
Because yeah, so I think that this one has such a great feel because we kept doing takes until it felt good.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, that was technically kind of close to the click, but did it feel right? And I think we were really honest with like we both knew when because we switched to you playing whirly and me
Yes.
playing drums to track it, and then it started working.
We felt that was the.
Yeah.
I think going forward, that's what we stuck with. Was me
And that's
on.
what we stuck with. I don't think we ever recorded bass first.
No. No.
And I also like adding it later. Not last, but not first.
Yeah, well, there's a satisfying thing too. It's like, oh,
There is like,
there's
oh,
the.
yeah. I think yeah, for me
Yeah,
is like a
yeah,
you know, bass is my first instrument.
yeah.
It's fun to like, and also since it is my strongest instrument, adding it later can also like I have enough control over it to be able to tie in my slightly less
I love that.
great drumming
I know
with
exactly what
everything
you mean. I
else.
know exactly what you
And
mean.
yeah, and like,
But your
you know,
drumming is great too. Don't.
it works. It works on
Your
this.
drumming is so good. No, but I mean, it's coming from you. Like you, it's funny. Like you studying bass, which half of it probably is just learning how to get a good feel. Like studying
Yeah,
a
or should
nice.
be.
Yeah, like there's the technical stuff and blah blah blah. But I think
Mhm.
the other half is getting a nice pocket, which comes innately. You kind of are born with that, just a nice feel. But learning that on bass, it has to translate to the other instruments, to the drums, because you're feeling it in a similar way, and so then you can play with yourself. Where like I wish I had a
Yeah.
more of a technical ability on bass and on drums, but like I feel on the saxophone. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
where I have like my best sense of time, even though I'm not supplying a lot of the time. But like if I have it, like
Mm.
if I have my horn with me, that's when I can feel the best.
That's yeah. And also, I mean, this is I know it's been a really long time since we played together with you on saxophone,
Mm-hmm.
but one of the things that was always so much fun to be in a band with you on sax was you made everyone sound better.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice
like
to
one of
hear.
those things. It's like, yeah, like your sense of time and comfort and tone on the instrument was just enough to make everyone like to lift everyone up, and that was really a lot of fun.
That's nice
Like,
to hear. Thank you. That's
yeah, and I think like that you saying that you also feel the strongest in that, like with your time on the sax makes sense
yeah.
because yeah,
It's funny though.
and
It's a weird thing because I'm not supplying it, but like there's something about when I have the saxophone, like I'm playing it. Maybe it's because I have like enough technical proficiency with like articulation and stuff. I just I it feels better. Which going back to why we're talking about this, like you just hopping in
right.
on bass later is really nice because it feels so. It's fun.
Mhm.
It's
This was also fun to add the bass too. I remember.
what bass
I
are you
think
playing on this?
this is the Hofner. I remember I wanted to keep doing more takes because it was just fun. And
Yeah.
you were like, no, 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 we got to move on.
Yeah.
I was like, no, please, come on, one more. I can nail it.
I mean,
But
you don't take that many takes anyway. Like it was usually like 4 or 5 takes, and then
at the most,
at
yeah.
the most, like
If you weren't there,
yeah.
then I would be doing a lot more.
I
But
think
that's also
I think
nice.
with bass for you it didn't take as many. I mean, I think it was like 2 takes at most on bass. Drums took probably a little bit,
Drums definitely took a lot longer than that. Yeah.
but that's like we're supplying the foundation of everything. Can we
Yeah.
just play the drums for a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
So I had these very specific fills that I wanted you to do for this.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Come Together. I love when you can hear like your feet move or like the hardware of the drums.
A little squeaky
Yeah, I love it.
kick pedal.
I'm obsessed with it. It's so nice. So this is how we recorded it. So
Yeah.
I had the song in my head, the form of it. And woo! And those are separate.
Yeah.
Yep. Little delay on the drums. Woo! Yep.
I also put it's really subtle.
That's on that overhead.
Oh, this was an interesting I think we made some choices on which mics to favor.
Mm.
I think this is a primarily ribbon mic overhead as in the mono position for the
Ooh.
drums.
Oh.
Like that's most of our
That's
drum
huge.
sounds.
Yeah, that's big. And that's right down the middle. Like, is that like a?
I don't think we even moved it. I think it was exactly where it was
Yeah.
above the hi-hats, but I think we just turned it up
And
more
now,
than
even like panning wise, like you're not doing anything. You're just they're down the middle, right? The overhead.
yeah. I took the right overhead, and you can hear I put this micro shift, which kind of spaces it out.
Yeah. That's very cool. What does the kick
also-
sound like?
Just the kick.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Woo! That's
Oh, that's
nice.
right. We're doing this.
Oh, the enveloper thing. Yeah. That was something I started to put on all my drums. Like each individual drum was like an enveloper to
Yeah.
kill the room. It just adds this nice like tightness to it. This is the best part. I mean, it's just I could listen to this all day.
Oh, hang on. I got to show you this. This is fun. I took one of them and
What was that?
I don't know if you can see the slowed down.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, do.
That's on the last one, right? Like the one.
That's the going into the last
Yeah,
chorus,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Love it. So those toms have such a good feel to them too, because they're kind of swung. It's like that Ringo kind of like.
Yeah, yeah, they're not straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these overdubs were fun. And we did a couple Tom overdubs throughout
Yeah.
this album, and this is one of them.
Definitely on Off My Mind too.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so can we just play the guitar? So is it just one? There's one guitar. There's one acoustic.
Yeah,
That's it.
there's only one acoustic.
That's
We didn't
great.
double track it. I think we thought about it and then limited ourselves.
Yeah. So, can you play just the whirly with the acoustic? This is the
Yeah.
sound. Like this is the sound. This is like one of my favorite sounds ever. Are these two instruments? It's the metal with the wood,
Hmm.
and they're doing two very different things.
We took that out.
Oh wow! Yeah, didn't need it.
No whirly on the chorus.
That's great. I didn't even realize
No, we got to talk about this.
that. Yeah, we get. That's a whole. Actually, my friend Mikel, who played bass on Finally Lonely, just texted me last night. He's like, "How did you do that?" And I'm curious too. I forget. Is it delay? What is it?
Let's see. So if we look at the stem,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to give us much insight because all I have it is going through this reverb. So what I think I printed
We print. That
the
was right. Yeah.
I work with Universal Audio with the I use the console app and put a lot of stuff and print it into Logic.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do is my Acetone, the organ just always has this space echo plug-in on it.
Yep.
Like that's how it lives.
Is that like
In
RE20, like the Roland thing? Is
yeah,
that
it's I think in the actual plugin is called the Galaxy.
There
Here we
we
go.
go.
Sorry. My Wi-Fi went out for a second.
Oh, okay, cool. We're good.
All right.
Now,
Let me go back.
Lou's butt is just right here.
All right, cool. Oh, that's amazing. All right.
Lou, you want to hang out? So you put the space echo.
Yeah, it's just the space echo. And I think we might have I think when you were playing it in, I think I just cranked up the feedback.
Well,
So
you were
that's how
probably.
I got that.
Were you like? Were you setting it while I was playing? Because I feel like a few times
I was,
it
yeah.
was like you were playing it while I was playing it.
Because you can hear I think I changed the delay time and the feedback because you can hear it kind of speeding up a little. The pitch is going up at the end on some of them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
That that's great.
that was definitely, I mean, yeah, we were messing around with it as you were recording it.
That was
Um,
that sounds like do you ever get into Raymond Scott? Have you ever heard of him?
no, I
He was
haven't.
like this jazz composer, but he did a lot of jingles in the 50s and the 60s, but he got into like like early synthesize modular synthesis. That sounds like very similar to him.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I think that's probably why I was so into. Can you play it in context with the
Yeah.
That's so
What,
cool.
what do you want to hear it with?
Yeah, just a few seconds before it. Yeah.
If you could see my face.
Yeah.
I love that, like, it's such a weird chord to do that on, like it's the sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5.
Yeah,
It's like
that's right.
it's a nice we got 10 minutes left. It's a nice inversion of like the 2/7 chord. But it's tense,
Mhm.
it's like it's an odd chord to like end a chorus phrase on. It's
Yeah.
unsettled, which is nice. It's like hold on. It felt nice with the song.
Yeah, it was such it was the right thing to happen in that moment.
Yeah. And if it were
Um,
diminished, that would be really weird, but making
mhm.
it half diminished is
Yeah.
is a nice little touch.
Yeah. Um,
Let's see what can we
yeah,
should we
what else we got?
add can we do all of that minus the drums and add the bass in?
Oh yeah. Chorus?
Yeah. So this is that specific bass line I had for you. Ba-doop-ba-doop-boom.
Yeah. There's a mistake coming up.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for you because all of my everything I sent you was just on like the worst, condensed or whatever kind of microphone it is, just like $100 microphone, just and like the most like first take, one take wind things.
Oh
And
my
like,
God.
it's so funny.
Well, you want to see what I did to each of them?
Yeah.
If you check out right here, looks like a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh
edit a
wow, look at
single
that.
one together. The only thing that's on all of them is an EQ
Yeah.
and reverb.
Can you play them soloed?
Oh yeah.
And this was like, I'm not writing down a range. I'm just like stacking them as I go. So
Yeah.
I don't know how like. That's very cool.
It's insane. It's so good. And it's so I first of all, it's just so it's such a unique thing to, to have this like superpower as a songwriter to also be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what sets me apart is a little bit. It's a bit, and I think this is the first record where I'm like really using that, where I can
Yeah.
use these live wins, and just stack them so I have this little chamber group with me.
Yeah, and I think the first thing when you hear of people doing clarinet these days in this kind of music, the first thing you think of is Andy Schauf, I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
But I think that what's amazing is you're doing it in a whole nother way that is
Mm.
not coming from there. And it's really, really cool to hear an your own way of doing these kind of these kinds of parts.
Yeah, I got
And
hip
yeah,
to his to Andy Schauf's music, and I was like I was very deliberate in listening to it, but not listening to it too much, because
mhm,
I like, you know, I he was doing similar stuff that have been wanting to do, but I didn't
mhm.
want to, you know, I still wanted to make it my own thing. I for me, like what does it is the like I'm I'm not getting perfect takes. I don't want that. I actually really avoid.
It's funny because I don't even know. It sounds so good.
I mean, like for at least like for me, it's the quality of it that I'm trying to stay away from. Like I don't
Mhm.
want it to be really good. I want you to be able to hear the room, and my
Yeah.
seat clicking, and my foot, and like me, like you know, like going like that or something like in the take. I want that.
Yeah.
Because I think it adds a really nice human quality to it. Can you just solo like
Yeah.
so? I doubled all of these things. So
Yeah.
really,
What do you want to
it's
hear?
four different harmonies. So can you just do the bass clarinet 1, and then clarinet 1, and then clarinet 3, and then clarinet 5? Yeah, whatever. Then this.
I'll do one of these. Yeah.
Yeah, what does that sound like?
On the pre-chorus?
Yeah. So that's with one. Can you play that one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I doubled everything. So I doubled the bass clarinet. I doubled the. I don't know. I feel like I doubled everything on this album.
Yeah. And I love the flutes
Mm.
that come in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds like a
It's
mellotron. It's cool.
yeah, but it's not. It's not a
It's
mellotron.
not.
Everyone who's like everyone who would be doing it that doesn't know how to play flute, which is a lot of people,
Yeah.
would just be doing the mellotron.
Yeah.
But this is the real thing.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
That's
And
great.
then we have these guys. man. Yeah, for me that makes that section just magic.
That like
But-
those wins right there was my whole, like, I went into this album wanting to accomplish that. I felt like that was the most important thing for me, was to figure out a way to do the chamber pop kind of
Mhm.
win stuff. It reminds me of John Bryan a lot.
Yeah, totally.
I love, like, he uses clarinet, flutes,
Mhm.
in a really delicate way. So he was a big inspiration for this too.
Yeah. We have a minute left. What do you want to hear?
Let's see. Oh, we got to do the vocals.
Got to do the vocals.
Yeah. So I double tracked everything.
Hmm.
Oh, well, even going back to like the woodwind thing, like I have a different version where I play tenor saxophone for the harmonies,
Really?
and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so I play around with it a lot. I play around with the balance of things, and I'm not writing it down on a score. I'm just doing it as I go. I'm stacking them as I go along, and I'm like,
Mhm.
subtracting and just figuring out the combinations that I'm hearing in my head that I can, find as easily through just using logic to do all these things. What are the angry guitars? Oh, that's the
I think I sent you that.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the ones that didn't make it.
Yeah. I like the slide guitars.
Yeah.
Wanna do is hold on.
Good to go.
Good?
Yeah, that worked perfectly.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Also, yeah, this is so much easier.
Yeah,
Um,
completely.
also this is just so much fun.
This rocks.
I love diving back into
Yeah, me too.
this stuff.
Well, it's nice to. It's like it's a nice proud moment seeing your kids go off into the world and then come back and dissect
Yeah.
them. I mean, this is like looking at things under a microscope. I love hearing people talk about their music, so I thought
Me
that-
too.
I'm
Yeah.
like constantly on YouTube doing this stuff. So
Oh yeah, like I wish all my favorite artists would do this.
yeah, yep,
And
yep. We're in
You
it for
know,
the content. We love
Yeah.
we're content creators. Where were
yeah.
we? Oh,
where should we?
do those guitars. I want to hear them. So we did those guitars, and I'm happy we didn't pick them. They do change the vibe completely, for better or
totally.
for worse. They could be better to some people, but they definitely are a different vibe. Can you play
Yeah.
Can you play all the instruments plus those guitars?
Yeah, I'll play from the pre-chorus.
Because this
going
is
into-
interesting.
And as you are boarding, memories come pouring through. No, I'm not afraid. All I wanna do is hold on. If you could see my face, then you would see the truth and move on.
Yeah, it's just a different song.
Different vibe. And I think like it, I had this mental image in my head of like it just didn't fit the vibe I was going for. But damn, it's crazy to hear those things. It reminds me a lot of Ram
Yeah.
in a way, cuz I mean that for me that was a huge inspiration for a lot of this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it took it out. It took it out of the. it took it out of the woodwind
Yeah.
softer world, which I think it lives so nicely in
Mhm.
as it is.
Yeah, like psychedelic
Um,
folk kind of whatever.
Yeah,
The guitars
like
are very on the nose.
yeah, it is.
But the
They're
tone is
cool,
fabulous.
but they're like I'll use that sound for other stuff.
The tone is so good.
Like I love like you know it's like it's just the cool DI guitars, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's DI.
yeah,
That's funny.
not for this one.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's do the vocals. What do those sound like? So
yeah.
did you do anything? This is also like my, cheap.
Let's see. Nothing. Nope, nothing on the individual tracks.
Yeah.
It's really funny. They sound like I dropping them into the sessions. They just sounded so close to being like I really didn't want to do too much to them. I like every time I would I mean, yeah, there are a lot of plugins, but they're each doing like a
Yeah.
tiny little thing.
Well, I sent you. I did my own processing on
I didn't know that
my
on the
end.
vocals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but
That makes sense that they sounded ready.
a lot of the time I don't know what I'm doing like on a technical level, but I'm like, I usually add a compressor, I usually add a little bit of reverb, just like
Mhm.
a small plate or something like that, like through a bus. And then yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of it. So I'm sending it to you with some stuff on it. I actually can't tell if did I bypass all this stuff when I sent it to you. I'm not sure. Can we listen to him solo?
We'll never know. Do you want me to take off my plugins?
No. No. You
Okay.
don't.
She seems so lonely, like the flower in her hair. Carried belongings to the little station where her eyes can show just what her mind is going through. Air in the springtime always seemed to make her cry. Years pass and go by, she never really figured why. Riders loading as she sighs, the train comes through. And as she is boarding, the memories come pouring through.
She says,
No, I'm not afraid. But all I wanna do is hold on.
There's this giant space.
Mm-hmm.
If you could see my face,
Giant space.
then you would see the truth and move on.
Can you add everything but the drums now?
Yeah.
Time
Also, I have to point this out.
Mm.
The little beard scratch.
I know. It's like,
I left it in.
oh, I know. I can hear it on the. I love that. That's like still in there. I don't think
Yeah.
it's the only song with that either.
No, it's not. All right, everything minus drums.
Yeah, going into the second verse.
Here we go.
Time moves so steady when you're in a rocking chair. Life proves you're ready, and suddenly you've stopped to care. Signs you won't avoid will find your point of view.
Can you get rid of the bass?
And as you are boarding, the memories come pouring through. No, I'm not afraid.
No,
then you would see the truth and move on.
I think one of my favorite moments is this right here. These
I know what
two
you're
things
talking
at the
about.
very end.
Yeah, they're like doing a little dance.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. And
Yeah.
on the chorus, I'm doing actually I want to clarify this with you. Am I doing a 3-part harmony on the chorus?
Let's see.
I hope I am. I remember I remember like having the demo, and then like when it was already mixed and stuff, or before I was mixing it, I didn't know if I had done a third harmony, but it was buried in my mix, and so I was so worried. I think I have a third harmony, which I'm hoping, but
All I wanna do is hold on. But all I wanna do.
okay,
I think
cool.
so.
So it's 3-part harmony, yeah.
We got this guy.
But all I wanna do.
Then we got
Am I really singing it that soft? Wow.
All I wanna do.
Yeah, because that was something I wanted to go for, like Beatles 3-part harmony kind of thing. Am I?
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked at how quiet I'm singing those backgrounds.
those top lines.
Yeah, because I'm
But all I
You're getting all the power from the
the main
lead.
and the main one is the. Wow, interesting. I thought that I was
Yeah.
I thought I was going for it in all the tracks, but can you just play the lead?
Yeah. I think yeah, here it is.
No, I'm not afraid. But all I wanna do is hold on.
Maybe it's the
But all I wanna do is hold on.
yeah.
That's cool.
But all I wanna do.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another.
I think
Oh, go for it.
no, go ahead.
Just like on a songwriting level, this one is like the chorus, like the amount of space in between some of those lines, like you could land a plane, like like that's huge. And I think it's interesting. I'm as a songwriter, I'm always about contrast within different sections. So
Yeah.
you know, like the verse is very, it follows this kind of, the melody is very deliberate, and there's a lot of notes, and you're moving around a lot of the place. So then I think that gives me the liberty in the chorus to just like take up a little less space, and that's the contrast that I'm always going for.
Yeah, and it's funny. We're dropping instruments.
Yes.
Like we drop the whirly, but the thing that picks it up is the drums get busier or they get bigger.
Well, are those fills
the
in
bass,
the fills are only in the chorus, right?
The fills are only in the chorus. Yeah, these guys. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, they're even less in the second chorus.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Me too. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just usually you'd think choruses would be busier.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's a balance.
It depends on the song, yeah.
Depends on the song.
My word for this song is lush.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's that 70s, even like in my head when I hear this song, I see the album cover of me like with the green, and it's very like the plants and stuff, and so I wanted it to be lush, and I think that happens in the verse more than it happens, that lushness happens more in the verse than it does in the chorus. And then the chorus adds with that organ, it goes into like psychedelic land more.
Yeah, because that's the only thing in the song that's a sound that, you know, you can't pinpoint and say, oh, that's a, you know, that's a guitar. It's the only thing that's like, ooh,
right.
What's that?
And it's the only sound that wouldn't be like organic, you know? Like,
It is. Yeah, it is the only, yeah. It's the most altered sounding. Yeah.
Can we, one last thing before we move on from this one, can we undo the vari-speed?
Yes.
What happens if you just press the vari-speed button?
So on this one, it will go back.
Oh, cool.
The problem is that
you're back.
Sorry,
cool.
my Wi-Fi went out again.
That's cool.
We good?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the last one, when I sorry, I think I cut out again.
Yeah, that's cool.
We good. When I sent it to you, when I sent all these songs to you, I didn't send you sessions. I just sent you bounces.
Yeah, so
it was a really funny process.
I mean, I did not care at all. Whatever I needed. It's funny thinking that I recorded all these to just the track, you know?
Yeah.
On my own.
And then you just sent me a bunch of stems, and the problem was that sometimes I had sent you the song with vari-speed on.
Yeah.
Already. And then I had to open up a middle ground session so that I can pitch your stems down, bounce them out individually in the correct vari-speed to put them in the original project. This was there was a lot of math involved.
Like literally like figuring out percentages of things.
Yeah. Like if something is 106% the speed and then you record it at that speed, then to bring it back to the original is not just taking it down 6%.
No, because 6% of 106
6% of 106 is not 100.
Yeah, it's a completely different number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
like I recorded it to the version you sent me, and then I vari-sped it even more. I think is that what happened?
I think it was a mix and match.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Cool.
All right.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
Cool.
Yeah, so this one, I think we had originally recorded it slower.
Yep, like everything. I think that's I have a tendency to record things slower than they actually end up being.
Mm-hmm. Should we hear it in the original speed?
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, all that for just here we go. Hold on, in the original speed, it was recorded it.
Flower in her head.
So this is what my voice actually sounds like.
Belongings to the little station where her eyes can show just what her mind is going through. Air in the springtime always seemed to make her cry. Years pass and go by, she never really figured why.
Can you hit the vari-speed button? I just want to hear the context. Can you hit the vari-speed button? I just want to hear the go back and forth.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm so curious.
The train comes through. And as she's boarding, memories come pouring through.
She says,
No, I'm not afraid.
It's great. That's It's just more. It's pop. It's more.
What's that?
It's more pop. It's a pop record. Once you speed it
Yeah,
up.
it's funny. I think now that I've, lived with it so much
Yeah.
in that, like, it just, okay, it sounds like the song,
Yeah.
and then it
Right.
doesn't.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's right. We tracked it slow. Like this is actually what we played, you know.
Which feels right as if it's just the two of us. This feels fine, but like I feel like when the more you add instruments, the more you see what needs to be changed.
Yeah. And also I'm very grateful for speeding it up as a fake drummer. Because the faster you speed it up, the more it hides the
True. It. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. That's funny.
You're condensing all the inconsistencies
The feel just
in the
feels
playing,
better.
and the feel just feels better.
That's
So
funny.
I think that was nice.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
yeah.
This is my
Um,
one of the songs where I feel like I'm doing the most storytelling. I don't usually like do a lot of storytelling in my lyrics, and this one is different. Like I find there's something about talking about someone in a song that's so different. It feels very Paul McCartney, like
Yeah.
every day. She what's her it's just another
Oh, yeah,
day,
yeah.
so sad. Another day, that's it, right?
Another day. Yeah.
Every morning as she takes a bath in the chair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Or
love
she's
that
leaving
kind of
home,
thing.
or
Exact. I mean, he does that so much, and
he
I
does
really
it a
wanted
lot.
to do that. And these lyrics drove me crazy. Like
Really?
it took me so long to figure these things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I'm happy with how it came out.
Did you have any idea for this one lyrically before,
I
like,
I
as we were recording it, or?
I knew the chorus. No, I'm not afraid, but all I want to do is hold on. If you could see my face, then you would see the truth and move on. Like that I
Oh, so
knew.
you had the chorus, but you didn't have the context.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so cool.
And then
I
it's
didn't know
cool how
that.
I could the first the first verse is her perspective saying she wants to move on. And then the second verse is my perspective. And so that little she says is gone because then it shifts.
Because it's you,
It's
yeah.
now my perspective. Or
Yeah.
was I her the whole time? That's the other thing. I'm her.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think
Yeah,
I'm good on.
lyrically, yeah. I love this one. I think I'm gonna be saying that a lot in these, but yeah.
This one
is
set the tone for the album. This sounds like what Chaseland.
It did,
feels
yeah. And you're right. Like the cover of even just the album cover is makes me hear this song.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, when you said that earlier, it made so much sense.
I think that's why I decided to do this one first too. I also
Mhm.
it's funny writing all of these songs in Rhode Island, specifically in Tiverton, Rhode Island, where it's very green, and then living in Brooklyn for 3 weeks
Yeah.
and trying to bring that imagery of when I wrote it to Brooklyn was it's something that I felt. I noticed it where
Yeah.
it just didn't sound like my surroundings. Where when I come back here, it sounds like my surroundings.
That's so funny. I'm glad we were able to capture that in the little basement with no windows.
I think all it takes is an acoustic guitar with an electric piano.
That's all it takes.
For me. And then you add the clarinets and the flutes and the bass clarinet. That's the sound of greenery.
It is. Yeah, it really is. You're right. That's the foliage.
But as I'm walking to the studio in Brooklyn, it's I gotta remind myself what what this looks like.
It's probably better that you recorded those clarinets and vocals at home.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm so glad that it was able to come together from two studios or two different spaces and feel really cohesive.
I think it's really cool. I didn't plan on it, and
No,
it worked.
it worked.
Which makes me
Also,
realize, like, I was kind of nervous to do anything outside of my home studio. This is the first time doing it, and it just proved to me, like, all right, like, you can welcome people into my process, and it works.
yeah, I'm glad you took a chance on it
Take a chance.
with me.
Take a chance.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for trusting me with these.
Oh yeah. Thanks for doing them.
Yeah.
All right,
Should we
let's move on.
should we do yeah,
Or should we hold on?
no, do you want oh yeah. Should we pause and do it like a so you have another
Yeah.
fresh start of a video?
Yeah.